and welcome to Business 300. My name is Philip Kulenshoff, and this is 300 Seconds About Business. We're all a busy people, so I have 5 minutes or less to get my point across. A good thing about these short episodes is that there isn't time to make things complicated. Ain't nobody got time for that. Let's get to the point. In the last episode, I played friendly with business debt, but qualified to not let it surpass your own understanding about how money and debt works, and to make sure you understand debt specifically in the context of your industry and business situation. I do believe that debt is a good option to fund business growth, but again, don't get ahead of yourself. Fire is good, and is also dangerous. The question that some people have, though, concerns their perception that the Bible has a negative view of debt. Is debt immoral? The borrower is a slave to the lender. Then why am I okay with utilizing debt in my growth strategy? Is debt a moral issue? Before I get to the answer, I'd like to lay a quick backdrop. If you live in reliance on the U.S. Federal Reserve note, otherwise known as the U.S. dollar, you are a borrower for life. The creation of the Federal Reserve in 1913 made every person who relies on the U.S. dollar into an economic slave. The U.S. dollar is an IOU note that we owe back to the Fed. If you're concerned about being a slave to the lender, it's too late. You already are. We're all in this game together. There's a lot to say about that, but economic conspiracies is not what this podcast is about. But I will say, if you grow in your understanding of how the US dollar works and the incentives the IRS gives in playing the Federal Reserve's game, you'll be able to play it more effectively, specifically when it comes to utilizing debt to build wealth. The incentives the IRS places on utilizing business debt and real asset depreciation in regards to tax write-offs almost makes you think that the IRS and Fed have an agenda. The better you understand it, the better you can play the financial game. But I'm here for a simpler question. I'm here to understand why I'm okay with utilizing debt for business growth. To start with clarity, I do not believe that debt in isolation is a moral issue, although there are many moral questions tied around it when answering why you're going into debt. Envy and ego are blinders leading us towards a bottomless pit. But we don't have ground to make a claim that debt in and of itself is wrong. When somebody like Dave Ramsey speaks passionately against debt, you might start to believe that it's inherently wrong. But he answers it himself when he says that he's okay with a 15-year mortgage at a fixed rate of which the principal and interest payments are no more than 25% of your take-home pay. If debt is immoral, then why make any exceptions? Debt is a wisdom call, and wisdom requires understanding and the fear of the Lord, both of which many people lack. So it's easier to make a rule when talking to a crowd. Rules sell books. But wisdom is a bit more complicated than a rule. The shackles of debt come down to the guarantee on the loan. What security are you giving for the loan? If my security is a real appreciating asset, which I'm borrowing money to be able to own the equity on, then that's a different context than signing over my children's future livelihood. Business debt is borrowing from future earnings. It's making the potential future earnings of this asset productive today, leveraging them to grow those future earnings into potentially something more than they would have been otherwise. How reliable are those future earnings? That's another wisdom call. None of us know the future, and those who say they will surely make a profit tomorrow don't know what they're talking about. That's why being over-leveraged or putting down future earnings as the security for your debt is really shaky ground. The point is that business debt in isolation is a wisdom issue, not a moral one, although folly many times is directly connected with morality. If we want to claim that debt is a moral issue, I would land on the side of debt being inherently good. Blessed is the one who lends and does not hold back. Debt funding creates many opportunities for human flourishing. So, don't be proud, and don't be stupid. Envy and ego are always bad. Debt, though, when it comes with wisdom, is good. Let go of what is bad, hold on to what is good.